February was a rough month for European carbon markets. And the story really isn't about economics, it's about politics. EU emission allowances fell roughly 15% over the course of the month, from around 83 euros down to 70 euros. That's the biggest monthly drop in over a year. So what happened? Well, first, the political ground shifted. At a major industry summit, several heads of states, including Germany's chancellor, publicly called for the EU carbon market to be reformed or outright suspended. Italy went further, formally requesting that industrial sectors be exempted from carbon costs altogether. Now, heading into the month, financial investors had been building record positions on the carbon market, betting on higher prices in the near future. But faced with the prospect of political intervention rewriting the rules of the game, many of them decided to sell. And so, when that many investors exit at once, it creates a self-reinforcing spiral. Prices fall, more people sell, prices fall further. That dynamic is what turns a political headline into a 15% crash. Now, industry is actually divided. Some sectors, like the chemical industry, are pushing hard for a carbon price freeze. But others, energy producers, companies that have already invested heavily in decarbonization, push back just as firmly, arguing that a strong carbon price is precisely what makes those investments pay off, keeps Europe competitive in the long run, and builds energy security. The European Commission is siding with the latter, reaffirming its commitment to the markets, and Merz himself softened his position. But the damage was done. Now, the message to keep in mind is that the fundamental picture on the market didn't change. The market sold off not because carbon became less scarce, but because investors got spooked about potential rules changing. Discussions will continue over the next weeks and months until there's a final position from the European Commission and a formal review due sometimes in July or August. Of course, we'll continue decrypting the news on the market and keeping you updated.